Ms. O'Keefe, do you know when this picture was taken?
This is a dirty prosecutorial trick.
Did you know Kerry Roberts?
Yes.
Kerry Roberts knew John. They were high school sweethearts. Kerry Roberts is an instrumental piece of the puzzle. Without her, this case maybe would have fallen apart years ago.
When she called you that morning, do you remember the conversation?
Yeah, she said John was found in a snowbank. And
Let me get to you first before anyone else gets to influence you. I have to be the one to influence you first. Do you understand? Why is she so happy? This is a murder trial for her son. I mean, humor. Okay, we use humor to diffuse emotions. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law, folks. Today we are going to continue our saga with witness number 3 from the Karen Read trial 2.0, the retrial of Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Karen Read. But folks, before we get into Peggy O'Keefe, which is the subject of today's video, I do want to talk about very briefly about something that actually happened on Monday, April 21st. There have been an affidavit signed by an unknown person talking about Catherine Peter. Catherine Peter, and I tweeted about this, has apparently been involved in a very, very, very close-knit circle with Lally, Brennan, Morrissey, and others. The entire district attorney's office has been involved in trying to manipulate the narrative and, most importantly, lock up Aiden and lock up Karen Read before the trial. Now, obviously, their efforts have failed, but this woman, allegedly, the affidavit states, because she's not the one who wrote it, it was one of her friends, states that she has been paid $1,500 a month through Cash App, which is very difficult to track if you don't look at bank statements. It's not a credit card, you don't get a receipt, etc. So, under the table, she was getting paid, allegedly, to manipulate the process, manipulate jurors, manipulate the public. She was essentially spearheading the anti-Free Karen Read campaign, or one of the players that have been spearheading that campaign. And there are definitely others. If there's one, there are more. And now she has become a mole. She has become a spy for the Free Karen Read side, which is amazing. As Sun Tzu said, you cannot commence warfare without the use of spies. Here is my prediction as to what is going to happen. Number one, this is going to be brought to Auntie Bev's attention on Monday, April 28th, which is tomorrow. Unfortunately, Bev is going to deny it. She's going to say this is unsubstantiated, this is not enough, trial is moving forward, I don't care. And that's expected. So don't be surprised when that happens on Monday. Same with the Rock McAlbert from the jury visit on Friday. Same thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my ex. You'll learn a little bit more about it. But most importantly, here's what I'm thinking. For some of you who have not seen the trial of the Chicago 7, let me give you the TLDR version of what happened in that movie. It's a movie based on a real case. I believe in either the late 60s or early 70s, this actually happened. There were 7 protesters leading the protests against the Vietnam War. Okay? And it doesn't matter who they are. One of them was Abby Hoffman. If that tells you anything, maybe you know more than I do. But essentially, there were 7 that were prosecuted by the United States government for violating American laws. The movie was made about them, the trial of the Chicago 7, and actually there's a phrase in that movie, the whole world is watching, in the very, very early stages of the movie. If you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about, when the egg gets thrown at Abby Hoffman and his friend. And the thing is, the most interesting part of that movie that is parallel to this case is the break open moment of the movie. What happened? The previous administration, the United States administration, did not want to prosecute the Chicago 7. The new administration, however, made the affirmative decision to prosecute them to set an example. It was a political move. They didn't really care about winning. They wanted to prove a point. And what that point was, that's up to you to decide. But whatever. That's what they wanted to do. It was a political trial. They were there as political asylees, political refugees. They were not there as as criminal defendants in a trial. And the prosecution was well aware of it, but they still moved forward because the administration is pushing forward, and the Attorney General of the United States, with his assistant, moved it forward. Presiding was Judge Hoffman, not related to Abby. And the break open moment was when Ramsey Clark, the former Attorney General in the previous administration, gets called to the witness stand, and the judge, Judge Hoffman, declines to allow him to testify. I have a feeling we're going to have a Ramsey Clark moment in this case. What ended up happening in the trial of the Chicago 7 movie and in the real case is that Ramsey Clark, the former U.S. Attorney General, was called to testify by William Kunstler, the defense attorney representing the Chicago 7, including Abby Hoffman. And the problem was the judge would not allow him to testify in front of a jury. Ramsey Clark, the former Attorney General, had to testify by avowal. For those of you who don't know what that means, testimony by avowel, A-V-O-W-E-L, simply means that you bring, it's like a voir dire. You bring testimony, but the jury never hears it. The jury's out of the room. They never get to participate. And that is one way to protect the record. If you have not seen the movie, that is the most phenomenal scene in the entire movie, is when first, there are two scenes, when William Kunstler actually finally meets Ramsey Clark and has a conversation with him, letting him know that he's going to call upon him to testify, which he could easily just say no. A former Attorney General getting called to the witness stand is unheard of. But it is possible, and it did happen in that case and in the movie, reflecting that case. But the thing is, the most interesting thing is we're going to have a Ramsey Clark. Our Ramsey Clark is Catherine Peter. Mark my words, if the defense has the ability, and I'm sure that they have, and they can subpoena her if they have to. All they have to do is find her. They can subpoena Catherine Peter in their case in chief. Now, one question becomes, is Catherine Peter on the witness list? I don't know. I don't have the witness list in front of me. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments below if Catherine Peter is on the witness list. If she is, all bets are off. She's going to testify 100%. If she's not, then Alan Jackson is going to file a motion, or Ms. Little or Alessi or Yannetti are all going to file a motion requesting that the court allow Catherine Peter to testify and be added to the witness list. And here's what's going to happen. Bev is going to deny it. She's going to say it's too late in the process. If Jackson does it on Monday, we have a shot. At least there'll be plenty of notice. And Brennan, in 10 weeks, when the defense puts on their case, he can't say, oh, I'm being blindsided. Brennan, you knew about this for the last 2.5 months. Sit down. But it's very possible that Bev will still bend over backwards to try and protect him, to try and protect the integrity, which there's nothing left. But whatever she's trying to protect, the invisible integrity of the Norfolk County DA's office. And then something magical is going to happen. Catherine Peter is going to become the Ramsey Clark of the Karen Reed trial 2.0. She's going to take the witness stand. She's going to testify by avowal without the jury being present. And she's going to say exactly what she's been thinking and what she's been hearing and what she's been doing and what she was getting paid to do. Unbelievable stuff. One of the craziest things that she alleges, listen to this, folks. This is almost unreal. Peter was told by Jennifer McCabe that Jennifer McCabe informed Michael Morrissey that Jennifer is not testifying unless Turtle Boy is in jail. That's a direct quote. Michael Morrissey informed Jennifer McCabe he would then have to subpoena her. And then Jennifer told Morrissey that, quote, then we won't say what you want us to say, end quote. That's essentially Jennifer admitting that I will lie on the stand so long as Turtle Boy is in jail. If he's out, I can't testify. I'm too scared of Turtle Boy, says Jennifer. Here's another one. The day Peter showed up to protest at the Karen Reed trial, Peter informed me, this is the person who wrote the affidavit, quote, Jen McCabe paid me, end quote, for her show of support. Can't make this stuff up. This is all real. This is an affidavit submitted to the court. Here's another one. Peter is, quote, very close with Hank Brennan, end quote, and has had multiple conversations and meetings with him. I have personally heard Peter on the phone with him, and she recognizes Hank's voice on the other end of the line. She told me she is paid $1,500 cash each month via Cash App for her assistance in the Karen Reed and Aidan Carney prosecutions. I mean, folks, this is like Amber Heard 2.0. The anti-free Karen Reed movement is the modern day Amber Heard. They are paid actors. They are not real people. They are family of the McAlberts, friends of the McAlberts. Those are going to do it for free. Some of them. Some of others are probably getting paid. My only source of revenue for this is YouTube. YouTube pays me to make these videos. I don't get paid by the defense team. I don't want to get paid by the defense team. They got enough on their plate. Karen Reed's already paying enough. I don't want her money. This is crazy. This is insanity what is happening. So Catherine Peter is the Ramsey Clark of the Karen Reed trial. She's going to take the witness stand in a few weeks. And during the defense's case in chief, of course. Hank Brennan will never call her in a million years for obvious reasons. She has nothing good to say about him or his office. The defense is going to call her to the witness stand, and she's going to testify. But Bev won't let her in front of the jury. That's the key. Bev will force her to testify by avowal, give the testimony through voir dire, and then this all hell is going to break loose. This case is going to be the trial of the Chicago 7 2.0. Mark my words. That's where we're headed. Remember I told you on X a few days ago that there's going to be a moment. I tweeted about this. Go check it out. There's going to come a moment in this trial that everything is going to fall apart. Nothing is going to make sense. And it is going to blow the lid off of this case. And everyone is going to get pretty much caught in one fell swoop. The entire conspiracy will be uncovered. It's just something. The weakest link, all it takes is one. You don't need everybody to come forward and admit that they lied. We're already having that with Kerry Roberts, with Timothy Nuttall. It's already happening, and those are the first two witnesses. You know, witness number 3 is Peggy, which we'll get to in just a moment. But by the way, let me take this moment to say, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment. It helps you, it helps me, everybody wins. The idea behind the fact that this case is on the verge of collapse is no longer a mystery or a myth. It is actually boots on the ground, probable. It's not possible anymore. It has now reached the realm of probability because of this affidavit is exactly that. It is exactly that. So folks, without further ado, let me get into Peggy O'Keefe. So I have been wrestling with the idea of how do I paint Peggy? I mean, is she this innocent actor? Does she know what's going on behind the scene? Being a grieving mother for her deceased son, she can't let this case to rest. She can't forget about this case. She can't move on. She can't move forward. She can't rest. She has to constantly worry about this case because it's not over. The killer has not been found. Karen Reed has not been convicted wrongfully, although it might be. She still wants to see her hang. Otherwise, she would have spoken by now negatively about the case. But I guess we're about to find out, and I've not watched this testimony yet, so I'm going to be watching it with you, but not the full thing, just the snippets that are important, that matter, to keep this video short, and it's probably going to be under 30 minutes by the time we are done. Peggy, I don't know. I don't know. Let's watch together and then judge afterwards whether or not I think she is as innocent as because I don't want to prejudge her. I don't want to call her an innocent bystander when she's maybe clearly not. So let's dissect Peggy O'Keefe. Maybe not a good turn of phrase, but anyway.
Good afternoon, Mrs. O'Keefe.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brennan.
Could you kindly introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Margaret O'Keefe. I am John O'Keefe's mother.
Are you married?
Yes,
Who are you married to?
John O'Keefe Jr.
How long have you been married for?
Too long. 53 years.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't hear you.
53. Long enough?
How many children did you have?
Wait a minute.
Great.
Why is she so happy? This is a murder trial for her son. I mean, humor. Okay, humor. We use humor to diffuse emotions. When emotions are heavy, it's a very heavy topic. I'll give her a pass on that one. Let's see what happens.
Kristen and John.
And Paul.
Tell me a little bit about your immediate family.
My daughter. My daughter Kristen had a tumor, a cancerous tumor that she had for 5 months. And she died in November
Oh God.
of 13.
Oh my God. This woman lost both
She
her
had
kids.
2 children.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
2 months after she passed, her husband passed from a heart attack. And then you all know about John. And
She's
then my
losing
son Paul
everybody.
is over there.
Did I understand that there was a decision that
To lose 2 out of your 3 children, 1 to cancer, 1 to what I still think is it was an assassination. I feel horrible for this woman. I can't imagine.
would be the primary guardian? I understand at some point John worked in law enforcement.
Yes.
Besides that, could you just share just a little bit about him with us?
He was a police officer at headquarters. And when he first started, he was in Hyde Park, and then he moved to Dorchester, and then into Boston itself, and that's what he did.
I was hoping if you could tell us a little bit about John besides his work.
He was enthusiastic with sports. He was wonderful with the kids. He took care of them and did everything for them. Take them places on vacations and everything. He was their number one, and they called him JJ.
I'm showing you a photograph.
Okay.
And can you tell us what you see?
That's my son?
May I introduce this as an exhibit?
Yes.
Ms. O'Keefe, do you know when this picture was taken?
Okay, well, hold on. Pause right here. This is a dirty prosecutorial trick. This is her son smiling, looking all happy and alive and vibrant, probably on vacation somewhere, hanging out with friends. He is intentionally, by force, trying. This woman is already crying, thinking about her daughter, because that's more recent in time. I think she said November. I don't know if it's November of 24. That's 5 months ago, 6 months ago max. She's still grieving. Like, to stack it on top of the loss of John, I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. And now you're going to use inflammatory... This is an inflammatory photo for Peggy O'Keefe. I think she goes by Margaret, but I just call her Mama Bear O'Keefe. I mean, just looking at this photo, it makes me feel cringe. And you're going to use that, Brennan, to get Mama Bear O'Keefe to start crying on the stand again, like artificially? That's dirty, bro. That is so dirty. Let's see where he takes us.
I really don't know. It was in the summer of I don't know what year. I really don't know the year. But is that one? He probably took him to a fair or an amusement park, and he had his picture taken there with them. And then the kids were with him too. So.
Do you know how old he was in that picture?
43, maybe.
What year was John born?
75.
How old was John when he passed?
45. My mind's not working right now.
I understand. It's okay. Can I ask you a few more questions? The morning of January 29, 2022. Were you home?
I was home in Braintree.
In Braintree? Mm-hmm. Who were you with?
My husband.
Did you receive a phone call?
Yes, from Carrie Roberts. It was about 6:15, between 6:15 and 6:30 in the morning.
Did you know Carrie Roberts?
Yes.
How did you know her?
She lived in Braintree for a while. John and her were friends. They went to the junior prom together. And then we found out that she moved. She lived in Canton, and she was around the corner from us, and she helped us out.
Okay, so this is important. For those of you who did not watch the trial, bookmark this in your minds. Carrie Roberts knew John. They were high school sweethearts. They went to junior prom together. Then Carrie Roberts moves to Canton, joins the mafioso, the McAlberts, and becomes besties with Jennifer McCabe. She is one of the glue pieces that holds this case together, because she, on one hand, is friendly with John O'Keefe when he's still alive, but she's also besties with McCabe, Jennifer. So she connects the two worlds in a way that I personally did not know before. Carrie Roberts is an instrumental piece of the puzzle. Without her, this case maybe would have fallen apart years ago, at least months ago, maybe last year. But Carrie Roberts has been influencing Mama Bear O'Keefe, and with her help, Jennifer has been influencing her, and this whole network of bile has been unleashed upon this poor woman. It's very possible, again, I'm going back to the whole, she doesn't know as much as she thinks she knows. And if that's the case, the minute this case gets cracked open, Mama Bear O'Keefe may join the defense. She's going to be the first one to call Alan Jackson and say, you were right all along. If she doesn't do that, well then she is more than just a pawn. She is a Jennifer McCabe agent as well. That's the calculus that we have to do. So time will tell. Her actions will speak louder than her words.
And when you were helping take care of the kids, would you often see Miss Roberts?
Yeah, because she'd take Patrick and her son Ryan places. And yeah, so I saw her all the time.
Often?
Yeah.
When she called you that morning, do you remember the conversation?
Yeah, she said, John was found in a snowbank. And I didn't understand, which I said, what do you mean found in a snowbank? She said, they found him in the snow. They don't know what happened. She says he's brought up to the Good Samaritan Hospital.
So she says, I'm going to come get you and Papa because I don't want you driving. And I says, we can drive there. We both have four-wheel drives. So she says, no, I'm coming. So she came.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. This is also important. No, we can drive. We have four-wheel drives. No. I need to make sure to get to you first. This is what narcissists do. Isolate and control the narrative. This is huge. Let me get to you first before anyone else gets to influence you. I have to be the one to influence you first. Do you understand? And of course, what is this woman going to say? No, woman, screw off. I got this. No. She's going to be like, okay, you want to help? Come help. That's fine. I will accept your offer. And the manipulation can begin. Very crucial.
And it took a while to get there because the snow was bad. And in the meantime, I had called one of my nieces to find out, because one of my other nieces worked at Good Samaritan. I just wanted to know if she could find out anything about it. And I just couldn't get a hold of her. So when we get up there, they told us to sit in this room, and they would bring us down shortly. So finally they said, okay, you can go down. So we started walking down the corridor. And as I'm walking down, I hear Karen Reed yell, Peg, is he dead? Is he dead, Peg? Peg, is he dead?
And I just kept walking. And then I asked, I don't know who it was, a nurse or a worker at the hospital. And I said, what is she doing here? And she says, oh, she's being psych evaluated. So then they brought us down to the room where my son was. He's bruised up. His eyes were closed. Just not a good scene.
When Kerry Roberts picked you up in the car, did anybody go with you and Miss Roberts on the drive from your home in Braintree to Good Samaritan Hospital?
No, we were the only three in the car.
Who was the third person?
My husband?
During the drive to Good Samaritan Hospital that morning,
Yep.
did you ever have a chance while you were in the car to speak to the defendant?
Yes.
Please tell the jury about that conversation.
Here we go.
I asked her what happened, and she said, we went to a party. I left him there. I said, you just left him there? She said, yes, I just left him there.
Wait. We went to a party and I left him there. He's a grown man. What's the problem? And she goes, what do you mean you left him there? You left him there? Why the accusation? I don't understand. Does she just not like Karen? What is she to do? Babysit her boyfriend? Let me wait in the car while you go inside and have some fun and drink. No, she's angry. She's mad. Oh, you want to go to a party? Go to a party. I'm going home. I'll see you in a couple hours, says Karen to John before she leaves 34 Fairview. Spidey sense is tingling. Let's keep watching.
Whether she left him inside or outside?
No, she just said, I left him there.
Did she tell you whether or not she left him in the driveway or the street?
She just said, no, I just left him there.
You told us that when you got into Good Samaritan Hospital, you were walking down the hallway and you had another interaction with the defendant.
Yes.
And you told us that she was asking if he was dead.
When they took us down to the emergency room, the doors open, and there was a corridor to go down to the other rooms, and she was on the left-hand side, and that's when she saw me come in, and that's when she started yelling, is he dead, Peg? Is he dead, Peg?
When she was yelling, could you describe her mood or demeanor? Was she animated?
She's loud, and I don't know, she was just loud, and as she was saying it.
And when she was asking you, is he dead, did you again ask her a question?
I just asked the nurse, what is she doing here?
And did you speak to Miss Reed herself?
No.
At some point?
Wait,
you and your husband?
why would she ask the nurse, what is she doing here? She's worried about her boyfriend. Again, this accusatory tone just doesn't make any sense. What do you mean you just left him there? He's a grown man. What is she doing here? That's his girlfriend. Something is just not adding up, folks. Something is just not adding up. I don't know what to make of it. Something is just not adding up. Let's keep watching.
Husband got to see John?
Yes.
And were you with Kerry at some point?
Kerry was there, and then my son Paul was there.
Do you remember getting home that day?
Yeah. It was snowy, icy. And then there was a knock at the door, and it was Karen, her father, and her brother asked if they could come in. And I was just trying to calm the kids because Patrick was just out of control, yelling. And then they came in, and then he said, do you mind if we go upstairs and get a couple of her things? Which I never should have let them go up there. But at the time, I just couldn't think straight, and I really didn't have anybody else to help me keep them down in the kitchen. So I don't know what they got up there, what they did up there.
You didn't see which rooms they actually went in?
No.
How long was the defendant upstairs in John's home with her father?
I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes?
Did you see them come back down?
No, I did not.
When they were upstairs, what were you doing?
I was trying to calm the kids.
Both of them?
But yeah, well, mainly Patrick.
How was Patrick reacting?
He was very upset once we told him because he slept over a friend's house.
Again, what's with the accusatory tone? So Karen is with her dad, probably, gathering some stuff, maybe trying to find some evidence of what could have happened to him. I mean, she doesn't know that he never stopped in at the house before his own house, before getting killed, that he was killed at 34 Fairview by the McAlberts inside the home. But she may just be like bringing her dad, like, Dad, can you help me? Like, maybe you'll see something, maybe you'll notice something that I'm not noticing could be a clue as to how he got killed. And Peggy is now just, again, the accusatory tone just doesn't make any sense. Either she is an agent of the McAlberts, or the McAlberts have manipulated her and twisted the truth so much that she believes them. And there may be, we may have already reached the point of no return where Peggy is never going to believe anything that is going to be said to the contrary. Even if this whole thing blows wide open, she may still keep claiming that Karen is the one who did it for the rest of her life. And that's fine. She's entitled to thinking whatever she wants to think, but the rest of the world is not going to agree with her if she maintains that position, in my humble opinion. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong. And by the way, don't forget to call us if you need help, 1-844-774-HURT. Trial lawyers are standing by to get you the most money in your personal injury and wrongful death claims. But in Peggy's case, my goodness, I can't even fathom her actually believing that John O'Keefe could have been killed by Karen's SUV. If that is her sincere belief, once again, either she has been manipulated to no end, or she truly believes it in her heart, or she's just lying along with a lot of them. I still can't decipher it. I can't figure it out. Maybe chat, you guys can help me out, because it's too early. This is the first time she testified. I can't even give you guys inconsistencies for this video, because there aren't any. I can't compare testimony in trial number 2 with no testimony in trial number 1. So this is all we have, unfortunately.
And he just said, I'll never see him again.
When the defendant and her father came into your home, did you personally interact with the defendant?
Nope.
Was there any hugs, condolences?
Nope.
Did you ever confront the defendant with any accusations when she was in your home that morning?
I don't even remember her being in the house. When she went upstairs, that's the last I saw of her.
Did you ever lean over a kitchen island? Do you have a kitchen island in your house?
No.
Did you ever lean over the kitchen island and say, I think he looks like he got hit by a car?
Objection leading.
I don't remember talking to her that morning.
Did you see when she left?
Nope.
Did you ever see her Lexus in the driveway?
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Again, I'm going to reserve judgment. I thought I would be able to come up to a conclusion after listening to the testimony, but apparently it's not enough. Need more. Need more information about Peggy. This is the first time we heard her testify. This is the first time we have any information on her. So, folks, I don't want to keep you here longer than I have to. I've said my piece. Trial of the Chicago 7, we are going to have a Ramsey Clark in this case. No question. It's a question of time now, not a question of if. And I predicted this, as I said, so it's coming way sooner than I anticipated. Way sooner than I anticipated. I thought it would still take a few weeks. This trial may never get to the end. It will collapse before it happens. We won't even get jury deliberations here. It will erupt, folks. This case is about to erupt. It is like a volcano that is just, the whole earth is shaking, and the volcano wants to erupt. It needs to erupt, but it can't because there's still something missing. And the minute that piece is found, it's over. The case will be over. It's unstoppable now. It is the inevitability of deception. When you have too many people involved, too many players involved, you think that you can get away with it if you're just doing your regular whatchamacallit in your city, in your town. But when the entire world has eyeballs and ears on this, kind of like the Johnny Depp trial, it's the same thing. Everybody knows who is telling the truth. Everybody knows who is lying. It's too easy. And so do the jurors, by the way. Some of you may be asking, well, Larry, we understand that we get it. Do the jurors get it? Well, give them time. They will. Right now, they're still a little confused. There are a bunch of witnesses. Like next, we're going to do Guarino. I don't know why Brennan is choosing this order for his witnesses. Like, he has a firefighter, Timothy Nuttall. Then he skips McLaughlin, firefighter McLaughlin, or Laughlin, whatever her name is. Then he goes straight to Carrie Roberts to paint the narrative, kind of like Carrie did with Mama Bear O'Keefe. She painted the narrative. Then he goes on to Peggy, and then Trooper Guarino. Like, all the master manipulators first, and then get to the ones like that are a little bit weaker, because then the jury has already formed their opinion. Is that your plan, Hanky? Huh. It's an interesting one. It's still not going to work, but it's very manipulative. Very, very, very manipulative. And I'm here for it, folks. I'm going to continue covering it. Shout out to Mrs. Vanderbilt. Thank you very much for that lovely article. I'm going to drop a link in the description below to that article. I've also tweeted about it this morning. I'm recording this on April 27th, 2025, and it's going to premiere on April 27th, 2025. Folks, let's keep this going. I am so excited. Bye, everybody.